What's up, guys? Game Nut here, and welcome to my predictions for the 2018 NFL playoffs. Yes, I'm here to give you guys my thoughts, my predictions on how I think the playoffs are going to go down for this NFL season with the 12 teams that are left. Now, before we do jump into that, I know most of you guys are probably here to check out my predictions for the playoffs, obviously, but we are going to go ahead and do a quick review of my regular season predictions that I've been doing the entire year. For most of you guys that have been going along with me through the entire year, every single week I was making my predictions for every single regular season game, and this is week 17, as you guys can see on screen right here. This is basically what I've been doing every single week. So on the left hand side is my predictions. On the right hand side, I've been going against Madden 19 every single week to see if, you know, overall throughout this entire year, if I could have better predictions than them on the regular season. Now, as you guys can see, we tied this last week. For week 17, we tied. We both won 11-5. We both had 11 games right, only got 5 wrong, and thankfully that didn't put us below Madden 19. It was a close race, man. It came down to the wire, but as you guys will see, my final record on the year was 145, 109, and 2. So I got 145 games correct. And for Madden 19, they ended up 2 games below us, 143, 111, and 2. So, you know, ultimately, I guess, you know, you could say Madden 19 is not too bad at predicting games throughout the regular season. But thankfully, my goal on this entire thing was to do better than them, which I did by only 2 games. And, you know, I did go ahead and look at, you know, some expert picks online, which I'll put a screenshot right here, which they do a little bit better than me. The worst one, as you guys can see there, was 150 guesses correct, which, you know, I was only 5 under that. Not too far away from what the experts are doing, but obviously some of those guys, they're a lot higher up there, like in the 160s and whatnot. But, you know, ultimately, I feel like I did pretty well throughout this regular season with my predictions. And if for some reason, if any of you guys do want to check out any of my previous videos for my predictions throughout this whole regular season, I'll have a link to the playlist down in the description with all 17 of those videos. But of course, what all of you guys are here for are my predictions on how I think the 2018 playoffs are going to unfold. Now, most of you guys do know this, but for those of you that don't, my favorite team is the Baltimore Ravens. We were able to get into the playoffs, man. It's always coming down to the very last play with these guys, I swear. It's nothing like, you know, some drama with the Baltimore Ravens, you know, to the very last play. I swear, they're always giving us heart attacks, man, every single season at the very last play. It's ridiculous. But like I said, of course, we were able to sneak in there and get the number 4 seed. But you guys can see here is, of course, the playoff scenario that we currently have going into wildcard weekend. Now, obviously, like I did just tell you guys, I am a Ravens fan, so I could sit here with this predictions video and tell you guys that I think my Ravens are going to go all the way. They'll make it to the Super Bowl and beat whoever that opponent is, because part of me, you know, like half of my brain really does believe that. I believe that my team could go pretty far in the playoffs, because, I mean, we finished number 1 in the regular season for defense. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt at all. Like, it's a proven fact that the Ravens defense is, like, number 1. We're just playing absolutely lights out. And the offense with Lamar Jackson, it has been so much fun to watch. I mean, the run game has just been absolutely disgusting. I mean, having a dynamic quarterback like Lamar Jackson, obviously, you know, we've had Flacco for all these years, but having a guy like Lamar Jackson being my quarterback that I get to watch every week, like, it's been a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. But obviously, like, I do have confidence in my team. Obviously, you have to have confidence in your team, right? So, like, of course, I do think that my team is capable of going very far in the playoffs, but obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that my Ravens are gonna be the winners of the Super Bowl. I will give you my actual predictions of what I think is going to go down for the playoffs this year. So as we kick things off with Wild Card Weekend, we have ourselves a divisional matchup. Those are always fun to watch. Whenever division opponents play each other in the playoffs, those games are always really, really good. So we have the number 6 seed Indianapolis Colts sitting at 10-6. They had a heck of a season, man, starting off 1-5, able to get to the playoffs. It was pretty impressive, not gonna lie. They're going to take on their division opponent, number 3 seed, the Houston Texans. They're 11-5 on the regular season. So who do I think are going to be the winners of this game, man? I'm going to go with, I don't know if they're technically the underdog. I actually think they're the favorite for this game. I'm going with the hot Colts, man. I do think that Andrew Luck and the Colts are going to be able to pull this off. I mean, they've just been playing, like, they've been playing really good. I mean, obviously, they started off 1-5 on the season, so in the past 10 weeks, they've been, now, what is that, 9-1, right? So they went 9-1 in the past 10 weeks, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, they're playing hot. I mean, they beat the Texans the last time that they played them, which was in the regular season. I just feel like this team is highly capable of getting it done. They're going, obviously, away to the Houston Texans, but it's a very familiar scene for them because, obviously, they play them once every single year in their stadium already. But I don't know, man. Andrew Luck is playing good. Obviously, there's still a couple of injuries. I believe T.Y. Hilton hasn't been practicing this whole week, is what I heard. But I don't know. I mean, the Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense has slowed down a little bit from, you know, the start of the season. Obviously, they were on like a 8-game win streak or something like that, I believe. But I just feel like, I don't know, man, with that that defense of the Colts as well. I mean, obviously led by Darius Leonard, that rookie. I do feel like the Colts, the number 6 seed, could come in here and they could upset the Texans. Obviously, the Texans have had a really good season, so that would be a big disappointment for them. But I think for this game, I will be going with the Colts. So then, obviously, next week, the Colts, the number 6 seed, will be going to take on the Kansas City Chiefs at home, the number 1 seed. You guys know the number 1 seed, they always play the lowest seed in the playoffs, which obviously are the Colts, like I said, because they were the number 6. The following game that we have will be the Seattle Seahawks sitting at the number 5 seed. They finished at 10-6 on the season. They will be traveling to the Dallas Cowboys, also finishing 10-6 on their season. They finished as the number 4 seed. Now, who I think's going to win this game, man? Honestly, like, I'm completely torn. Like, I can see this game going either way. I'm honestly, like, I'm not 100% confident in my pick with who I'm going to go with, which I'm still not really sure with, because I truly feel like this game could go either way. I mean, the Cowboys defense, there's no lie, they have a really good defense, okay? That team is definitely led by Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys defense. That's pretty much it, because, I mean, all those young players, I mean, Leighton Vander Esch, I mean, he's an absolute monster. Jalen Smith is playing good. Seeing that defense going against the number 1 rushing offense in the league is going to be interesting to watch. I don't know. It's going to be a really good game nonetheless. As for who I do think is going to win, though, at the end result, honestly, this game is like a coin flip for me. I mean, whatever team I pick, I feel like the opposite team's going to win. I feel like Seahawks are going to win, but I think I'm going to choose the Cowboys. I do think Dallas might edge them out somehow. I mean, I think the only advantage here would probably be because they're at their home stadium. If it was the other way around, honestly, if Seahawks were home, I feel like then I would probably pick Seattle, but I don't know, man. I guess I don't think the Cowboys will go one and done. I mean, it'd be kind of sucky to see the Seahawks do as well. I mean, both of these teams I feel like deserve to advance at least one game, but I guess I'm going to have to go with Dallas. I think they'll be the winners. Now, with Dallas winning that game, obviously we have to wait until we see what happens in the Eagles and Bears game, because they are the 3 and 6 seeds, so we have to wait and see which team the Cowboys will play after that game happens. But next up on the list is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers, finishing at 12-4 on the regular season. They are the number 5 seed, coming to my Baltimore Ravens. We finished at 10-6 on the season. It feels good to say that we got 10 wins on the season, man. And of course, we are the number 4 seed in the AFC. Now, honestly, who do I really think is going to win this game? I do think my Ravens can win this game with ease. I mean, obviously, it's a completely different game. It's a brand new season. We're seeing each other in the playoffs. Obviously, we did a really good job of shutting those guys down once we went to the Chargers on that Saturday night game 2 weeks ago. Do I think that performance is going to repeat? It's unlikely, definitely, because obviously we know a little bit more about each other now since we just played each other. But nonetheless, I really do think that my Ravens are capable of winning this game. I do not think we're going to be a one-and-done team. I really do believe we are going to win this game 100%. I mean, like I already said it. We've got the number 1 defense. I think that we're going to be able to shut down Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. I mean, last time he had like 181 passing yards and 2 interceptions or something like that. The stat line I feel like will be probably be a little bit similar. However, he'll probably have at least like 1 passing touchdown this time around or something. But nonetheless, I do think that my Ravens are highly capable of being able to beat the Chargers. I do think it's going to be done. I'm not going to lie. I think my Ravens will definitely get it done. But being the number 4 seed, then obviously we are going to be going ahead next week and traveling to New England in the divisional round. And for our last wild card game of the year, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, the number 6 seed. They finished at 9-7 on the season. They will be going to take on the Chicago Bears, the number 3 seed. They finished with 12 wins on the season and 4 losses. I mean, the Bears, man, they had a really good season. But as for the winners, this has to be easy call. I'm not second guessing anything here. The Bears are definitely advancing to the divisional round. I mean, the Eagles, I don't even know how they made it to the 6th seed. I don't understand how. They shouldn't have made it to the 6th seed. I mean, just the fact that, you know, Nick Foles is coming in 2 years in a row, being the backup, and he's like, you know what, I just win games, I take teams to the playoffs. It's stupid. I can't stand it. I just, like, the Eagles, they're not that great of a team. Yes, their defense is kind of decent, but as for the offense, I just don't know, man. I mean, the Eagles team, I just really don't think they're that good of a team, and there's no way I can see them winning against the Chicago defense like this. I mean, with the way that the Bears season has been going, there's no way they're losing at home to an Eagles team like this. So the number 3 seed Bears are definitely going to be winning this game, which means next week they will be traveling to take on the number 2 seed Los Angeles Rams, and then obviously that of course means that the Cowboys will be going and having a rematch with the number 1 seed New Orleans Saints. So there are my wild card predictions for the year. Next up, we have the divisional round next week, and the first game on schedule will be the number 6 seed Indianapolis Colts going and traveling to Kansas City, taking on the number 1 seed Chiefs. They also finished at 12-4 on their season. Now, as for the winners of this game, man, while I do feel like, you know, the Colts, they'll put up a very good fight. I just don't see the Chiefs going one and done. I mean, the Chiefs, they're still way too good of a team. Now, it is kind of a weird stat that they have like the #1 offense in the league and also have like one of the worst defenses in the league. Last I checked, they were the 31st ranked defense. I don't know if that has changed, but that's so weird. Like, they're complete opposites of the spectrum. Like, it's so weird to see. But I don't think the Chiefs are going to be one and done. I do think that offense will be able to beat that defense. Yes, the Colts defense is pretty good, but I think the offense here will have the edge in the game. I mean, like the Chiefs, they're still just way too good of a team. There's no way they're going to go one and done. They definitely are at least going to be making it to the AFC Championship game. So Colts, you guys had a really good season, but I feel like it's going to stop here, and you're going to be losing to the Chiefs. So the next game is going to be back to the NFC. We have the #3 seed Chicago Bears advancing to the divisional round, going to take on the Los Angeles Rams. They finished at 13-3 on their season, and of course at the #2 seed. As for who I feel is going to win this game, I do, again, this is one of those games where I feel it could go either way. I'm not like 100% confident in my pick here, but I do think I'm going to go with the Bears, okay? I'm going to go with Chicago, coming in with the upset, beating the Rams, making them go one and done, getting that first round bye for nothing. I don't know, man. I feel like this could be the year that the Bears advance a little bit further. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself here. We'll save that just for a minute here. But as for this week, the divisional round, I do think that Chicago could beat the Rams once again. Obviously, as you guys know, they beat them earlier this season in the regular season, and it was a big win for the Bears. I'm not going to lie. I don't believe they let up any touchdowns. I think I have to go check that score again real quick. Okay, so yeah, it was a very weird scoring game. The Rams only put up 6 points, which is crazy, and the Bears only put up 15. Now, there's no question here that the Rams will probably at least put up a touchdown this game, but the Bears definitely need to answer back and also put up some touchdowns as well. I mean, there's no way they're going to win with 15 points against the Rams for a second time. But I don't know, man. I definitely think that the Bears could get this game done and advance on to the NFC Championship game. So I think I'm going to be rocking with Chicago. So back to the AFC, of course, this is where we would have my Baltimore Ravens, the #4 seed, going and traveling into New England to take on Tom Brady and the Patriots. This is always a rivalry in the playoffs, man. They, of course, have the #2 seed, and they finished 11-5 on their season. Now, if you want me to be 100% honest with you guys, obviously, yes, I do feel like this team is very capable of beating Tom Brady. I think that this is probably where my Ravens are going to lose. If I have to be 100% honest with you guys, I do think that this game is going to be very good. It'll be a close game. I think our defense is going to definitely rattle Tom Brady because there's no way that he's just going to go in and dissect our #1 defense. There's no question about that. But I do think if there is a time for my Ravens to lose in the playoffs, it's probably going to be this week. You know, New England usually has our number, but we usually have their number as well. And I think this year around, I do feel like Tom Brady and the Patriots might be able to get the better of us here and get the win. However, I do still think that we could win, and next week we would advance to the Chiefs. But I feel like if I want to be, if I want to be realistic here, if we are going to lose, I think New England and the Patriots would be able to beat us here. And of course, our last divisional game of the week is going to be the #4 seed Dallas Cowboys going and taking on the #1 seed New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees and his Saints, man, they finished with 13-3 on the season. Now, who is going to win this game? We have a rematch from earlier in the season. It's definitely got to be the Saints. I'm going with the Saints, man. No way Drew Brees also goes one and done. He's definitely going ahead and advancing to the NFC championship game. I mean, this New Orleans team is just way too good, man. Okay, there's no question about that. Drew Brees has led this team to the new heights this season. I mean, the defense is, much better for the Saints than what it has been in the past couple of seasons. Obviously, Drew Brees has had a lot of records broken this year. I mean, the team is it's way too good, okay? There's no way that they're going to go ahead and lose, twice in a row to the Cowboys. I think that they get the revenge here with the Cowboys coming to their stadium, and they're definitely going to get the win here at home. So then we have our conference championship games. We have 4 teams remaining, and first on schedule right here it says is going to be the NFC championship game, which of course, as you guys are aware with my picks, will be the Chicago Bears traveling and taking on New Orleans Saints. So as for who I feel will win this game, I mean, obviously we've got, one of the best defenses in the league coming and traveling to take on the Saints, one of the best offenses in the league. The Saints, still have a pretty good defense as well. As for who's going to win this game, I don't want to say it's going to be a blowout, but I definitely think that the Saints win this game with some sort of ease. I mean, I do think that this is Drew Brees' year, man. He is going to go back to the Super Bowl his second time around. I mean, yes, Chicago has had a very good season. Yes, they're going to get, very far in the playoffs. I feel they'll make it to the conference championship game. But, trying to go through New Orleans, man, I mean, I just don't see it happening. This team is just way too good. Unless something crazy happens, I mean, God forbid, unless, like, Drew Brees got injured or something, or something crazy like that. I don't want to say that because hopefully that doesn't happen. But if anything crazy were to happen, nonetheless, the Saints definitely are going to be winning this game, I feel like, and traveling and, making their appearance in the Super Bowl. And finally, we have our AFC Championship game, of course. We will have the number 2 seed New England Patriots going and traveling into Kansas City to take on the number 1 seed Chiefs. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one here. I'm pretty sure the entire football world is tired of seeing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, man. I mean, like, can we just have 1 year, just one season where we don't see Tom Brady in February? I mean, obviously, we know TB12's the GOAT, right? We all know this. There's no denying that. He's got the most Super Bowl victories and whatnot. But it's like, can we just have one season where we don't see him in the Super Bowl? Like, just come on, man. I think in this week, however, we do see the Chiefs winning. I do think that we have ourselves 2 number 1 seed teams going into the Super Bowl this year. I think the Chiefs get it done. Obviously, as most of you guys know, the Chiefs have had like that kind of like thing hanging over their shoulder where once they make it to the playoffs, they lose in the first round every single time. I do think that, that curse is finally uplifted here and they're able to get it done. I think they best the Patriots here in this game. And I think Patrick Mahomes, the young quarterback, will be taking on Drew Brees, the older quarterback, in the Super Bowl. So there you guys have it. That is my Super Bowl prediction for this year. I do believe that we have the Chiefs going to take on the Saints in the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, I know it's a little basic and generic. I'm picking both of the number 1 seed teams to make it to the Super Bowl. But, I mean, to be honest with you guys, like, I really don't see any team going and traveling through New Orleans and beating this team. I do think that the Saints 100% make it to the Super Bowl. As for the AFC, I feel like, maybe the Chiefs might not be the team that makes it to the Super Bowl. But again, with the way that, I have the playoff scenario going down, as you guys just saw, I do think that it could be the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously, the Patriots are very well capable of beating the Chiefs, but I'm kind of rooting for the Chiefs here just because of the main fact that I don't want to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again, man. I really don't, but obviously, again, like I said earlier on, minutes ago in this video, I do think that my Ravens could be capable of going all the way. I do think that, we could see my Ravens actually beating the Patriots in the divisional round, and then obviously in the conference championship game, we would have, a rematch, the Ravens and the Chiefs, and I very well believe that we could get a revenge here and beat the Chiefs, and, we could see my Ravens in the Super Bowl. I do think that is a high possibility. Is that going to happen? I'm not sure, man. Obviously, we have to leave it up to fate and see. Obviously, this is my actual predictions, though. I do think that in the Super Bowl, we will see the Saints taking on the Chiefs. As for my Super Bowl winner, though, who do I think is going to be the Super Bowl 53 champion? It's going to be Drew Brees. We are going to see Drew Brees once again hoist that Lombardi trophy. I do think it's going to happen. Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks of all time to ever do it, is going to get number 2 here. His second Super Bowl victory, and I do think that he will retire after this year. I do highly believe that. If Drew Brees does win the Super Bowl this year, I mean, obviously the guy's getting pretty old. I mean, there's no better way to go out than on top with the Super Bowl. You broke some records this year. You're going to go out with the Super Bowl. I do think that this is Drew Brees' year and the Saints' year. I do think that they are going to be able to be Super Bowl champions. So there you guys have it, man. I hope all of you did enjoy this video and my predictions for how I think the playoffs are going to unfold. I mean, obviously this video is probably going to get a lot of hate because everybody does think that, their team is highly capable and they are the team that should be making it to the Super Bowl, which, I understand. Like I said, that was the same with my team. You're supposed to have confidence in your team, but hopefully nobody gets butthurt and dislikes this video because of that. But just for fun, for any of you guys that do want to see this, obviously the entire year while I made my predictions for the regular season, we also went ahead, like I said at the beginning of the video, and we let Madden 19 make predictions for how they thought the season was going to unfold. So, just for fun, let's go ahead and see who I think, or who Madden 19 thinks is going to be the winners for the Super Bowl as well. So just for fun, of course, as you guys can see, we are sitting on Madden 19 right now, and we're gonna go ahead and simulate week by week to see who Madden 19 has as their winners for each week of the playoffs. So we're sitting here in the wild card round. Let's go ahead and simulate to the next week, to the divisional round, and see who we have as the winners. So we're gonna scroll over here to the playoff schedule and see who we have as the teams. And as we go ahead to the wild card games, here are our winners. So for the wild card games, for the Colts and Texans, it looks like Madden 19 is going against us here, and they're saying the Texans will be the team that ends up winning this game. So that means they will be going and traveling to take on New England next week. We have the Seahawks and Cowboys. They're also going against us once again and taking Seattle win in this game. Okay. They're also siding with us for these final 2 games. However, they do think my Ravens are going to beat the Chargers once again. Okay, I like that. I like it, man. 19. And then we also have the Bears beating the Eagles for the final wildcard game. So let's go ahead and now simulate to the next week. Obviously, in my predictions, I said that my Ravens in the divisional round will be going to take on the Patriots. This, however, for round 19, they're saying that we are going to take on the Chiefs in the divisional round. So let's go ahead and simulate. I'm going to close my eyes so I don't see up at the top of the screen. I'm going to scroll over here to playoff schedule once again to see who is going to be the winners. Let's scroll up to the previous week, and oh, man, they do think that the Chiefs are going to beat my Ravens. Oh, that sucks to see, man. They don't think we're going to get redemption. They think we're going to lose in the divisional round. So, you know, similar situations there. I also think, you know, that my Ravens might lose in the divisional round. But, however, it's going to be to the Patriots. For the Seahawks and Rams, this is going to be their matchup. They do have the Rams advancing to the final game, or to the conference championship game. For the Texans and the Patriots, they have the Texans beating the Patriots at home. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And then they have the Bears beating the Saints. So that means for the conference championship game, we have the Texans and the Chiefs and the Bears taking on the Rams. This is kind of interesting. So we both have the Chiefs and Bears making it to the conference championship. However, they have the Texans and they have the Rams as opposed to the Saints and the Patriots. This is pretty interesting. So I just went ahead and simulated the next week. So we're going to go ahead and take a look and see who they have as their teams moving on to the Super Bowl. And as you guys can see here, oh man, it looks like we are going to be getting a rematch from earlier in the season. That would be a treat, man. If we get another game like we had earlier in the season, the Chiefs taking on the Rams, that would be awesome to watch. But you guys can see it. Madden 19 is predicting that the Super Bowl is going to be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Kansas City Chiefs for a rematch. That's definitely, that could be a very good outcome. That would be a very good situation to see. And so here we are. We're going to go ahead and simulate to see who Madden 19 says is going to be the winners of Super Bowl 53. I said it was going to be the Chiefs and the Saints. It looks like Madden 19 is saying it's going to be the Chiefs and the Rams. As for the winners, however, we need to have a drum roll. Let's see who's going to be the winner. Oh wait, that was a little anticlimactic. We have to simulate one more week. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, let's see who is going to be the winner of Super Bowl 53. And Madden 19 is predicting the Kansas City Chiefs to be your Super Bowl 53 champions. There you guys have it, man. Well, in both mine and Madden 19's predictions, we both think that the Chiefs will make the Super Bowl. However, in my case, I think the Saints will win it. In Madden 19's case, they think that the Chiefs are going to be the team that comes out on top. But there you guys have it, man. There are the predictions for the 2018 playoffs. I hope all of you guys enjoyed, man. Of course, don't be butthurt, you know, with the predictions that I have. Don't be throwing hate my way because, you know, there's no need for that, of course. But hopefully all of you guys enjoyed, man. Nonetheless, I hope all of you enjoy some playoffs. If your team is still in the playoffs, I wish you guys all the best of luck. Obviously, I hope your team makes it as far as you possibly want them to make it. Even the Super Bowl, you know, it's a really good feeling, man. Obviously, you know, I had my Ravens win the Super Bowl 6 years ago in 2012, and it's a pretty fun feeling. I'm not going to lie. So best of luck to all of your guys' team, man. I hope all of you guys did enjoy this episode. However, I will catch you guys all in the next one, man. Be sure to subscribe if you guys are new for Madden 19 content, and I'll put a thumbs up on the video, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.